I've gathered you all here today. What's popular YouTube another day, another time. We're here. We watch Stavn to watch a master at work. Okay, an unbelievable map here from Stavn at the EU RMR to kick off Heroic's matches. Actually, this is the 1-0 match. So they both, Heroic and Fnatic, both beat a pretty decent team. Well, no, okay team. Fours and someone like Eternal Fire, something like that. Not amazing. This is much harder, but okay, Stavn. Let me list off some stats here. 1.99 rating on the map. 32 and 14 in a 16-9 win for Heroic. And 140 ADR across the entire map. It got to the point where in this game, Stavn was the only player who had more than 10 kills on the whole server and had 21. That's how actually unbelievable this was. So we're here to watch the CT side from Stavn 1024 by 768. It's black bars. I'm not doing the black bars. I can't be asked, man. I can't. It ruins the videos. If you don't want to watch, I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? If you want to watch black bars, then just put like a blanket on one half of your screen on each side. And then that's it. You can watch this same demo on black bars. All right, how about that? Black bars users, I'm telling you. You know what's weird? The game does feel more responsive on black bars. I don't know what it is, but I don't care. Okay, you're not gonna catch me on that. All right, so what's the deal, man? Stavn storylines, narratives. Stavn is the one player who is the best player on Heroic. He's the only player who doesn't fall off on LAN, and right now I would say, yes, that's kind of a bad thing for Heroic, but as a team, I would say they're fully elite. Like, they look so good. They play their unique brand of Counter-Strike. They got lots of nuts players. Literally, their one issue is just not performing the same on LAN as they do online. But it's not something I think will continue forever. It is something that has to be noted, though. It's not something that we know will change. It's just, if I had to guess, Heroic will figure it out, because at least I would hope that's the case, because they're actually so good. I mean, I love the way they play CS. You obviously see even in, at least in LANs, in group stages, they're just fine. Like, coming into this RMR, like when we looked at Heroic coming into the last major, they're gonna look good, they're gonna play really well, they're gonna qualify. I mean, I guarantee it. All right, I'm not gonna bet on it because we're not supposed to, but I promise. No, I can't do that. But I think they will. I think they will. Okay. I think they will qualify. I don't think people have questions about them at that point. When we get to playoffs, right? And they lost to G2 at the last major. G2 looked bad. Came in that playoffs. Heroic could have ended their run. We would just be talking about how bad G2 are. All that stuff. It wasn't the case because Heroic ended up losing. And yeah, G2 played well and they got to the finals. Whatever. All right. That was the time to strike. They weren't even warmed up. They didn't even know they were good yet at that point in that quarterfinal. And Heroic, they couldn't do it. They lost to Astralis, the one that I casted, Blastfall final. Enormous round lead on Mirage and ended up losing to Astralis. That was just everything's just been LAN for them, the problems for them. They were one of the teams that came up in 2020 alongside Gambit and haven't been able to meet their online and group stage. Group stage is cool. Crowds come in, that is definitely an issue. So that's something that can change, I believe. But it won't just magically change. I think one issue for Heroic, like I always draw this comparison to Astralis here in 2017. Nice little dink. 2017, Astralis made the key roster move of getting Glaive on the team, and they were always a team that made top 4, never won the tournaments, even if a lot of people thought they would be the best team at the tournament. They just couldn't do it. They just choked. They choked. And then they got Glaive. They won their first major. 4 majors later, this is the Astralis that we know and love. Heroic are like that, except they haven't made a roster move in this past 2 years. And just like Gambit, one of 2 teams since the beginning of 2021 that didn't make a roster move. Okay, let's pay attention to Stavn stopping the top mid pressure, because that's what this demo is all about. I actually can't believe that play just now, based on what we saw. Stavn did a good job, but first of all, he took a really good spawn to mid, so he caught the molly thrower from the top of mid, who they'll always peek behind the top cat smoke to throw the molly down. And then Stavn extinguishes the molly after getting that kill, and pushes through it and goes to the top of mid. All of this is being done with 5 CTs alive, and nobody is helping stavn. And at this moment, I was like, this is crazy. Like, he's already doing unreal shit. Well, little did anybody know that this was just going to continue, and stavn would not only keep doing similar plays in slightly different ways in connector, but keep applying tons of pressure, and a lot of times without much support. So here it is, stavn inside the connector again. Couldn't push, of course, off of this situation. Definitely had a bit of util damage as well in this. And I always talk about how hard connector is to play and how much of a fight it is at all times. So we're going to see why the meta on Mirage has kind of like driven towards denying connector presence from the CT side, because it is such a strong position to play, right? Back in the days, you used to see Xanteris standing on the stairs, Alu on the stairs, different players. Nico can still do it in connector sometimes, for sure. But just peeking inside and around connector and fighting everybody. But look at the amount of fights that he has to think about, right? And he's going to catch Alex. That's a little bit of a freebie, but the awareness is what gets him that frag. But look at the amount of action that all kind of points towards connector. Palace is always staring at connector. ARAM can throw nades. Lots of smokes. Mollies will come from top mid like we saw earlier. And the mid players as well will come from underpass towards connector. Top mid literally looks at the connector from the places that you can throw your nades safely from the T side. So yeah, if you're not super feeling it, if you're not one of the star players, you're not supposed to be here. And stavn's going to show us like the hyper aggressive, pure confidence way of playing connector that you actually just don't see that much anymore, because it's very hard to pull off. It's a high risk position. It really is. We do have, again, like I said, different looks. We're not always throwing the same grenades. Like here, stavn has saved his full kit. Starting to come out middle. Flash the top mid to support him. So he does have different plays with flash support and different teammates that show up around him. But largely, when he's in middle, he's almost totally alone. And there's another flash for underpass, and Alex will actually take him out. But honestly, the analysis in this game is going to be like looking at some of the micro decision making that he does, because he's just in this flow state of just peeking everything and killing everybody and understanding exactly what Fnatic want to try to do. And literally this entire half, Fnatic were just trying to get connector control so they could like do something. Like that was their one prerogative, and they just could not even do it because stavn's just like mowing them down. You know what I mean? He was like a combine harvester, and they were like wheat in a field getting plowed. Oh, and the other thing, not only did he get these 32 kills, of course, he's the hybrid op stavn. Like he had 9 or 10 op frags on top of his 20 or 21 rifle frags and a couple of randoms frags as well. Like a USP or whatever. And so this is a relaxed round in this half. This is a relaxed one. The flashes aren't incredible, so he doesn't have to fall off this angle. They will bite. Okay, 3 in middle. Oh no, yeah, that's 1 in palace. Okay. Stavn the Opper. Stavn the Opper. So now, he's evolving. He's transforming within the half. Where do we go next? Let's put him in mid. And this time, stavn goes right side window. Top cat smoke comes down. It's another way of stopping mid pressure towards connector is because you go into the left side here. You're safe from the top cat lurk through to the left side of the smoke, and you can stop people from jumping out into connector and try to kill them that way. Something you do off of a spawn here. Really nothing to worry about for Heroic in this position, of course. They are like a really sick team that is very fun to watch. And yeah, I hope they figure out their land stuff. But I want to be completely honest about talking about teams like Heroic and Gambit, because they do have this kind of final hurdle where they need to, yeah, yeah. I mean, the whole definition of being an onliner is not having one-to-one LAN results with your online results. That's just it. If you're any better online, that bit of an onliner, right? I mean, that's how it works. Even if both results are good, even if top 4 at LAN is solid, you know, literally, it's still the same game. It's just that the circumstances, the pressure is a bit more, and then there's little things that I know for Cadian's got like a lot of LAN experience at this point, but a lot of his teammates are just all getting it now, and there's sound stuff that you have to get used to. There's setup stuff, there's venue stuff, like just other kind of live elements of being in front of a crowd in general. But okay, they're just falling into his arms. You can see this heroic pressure is just so hard to read. They're basically just everywhere. Did we cross up as a question? Yes, we did. And stavn will take out young Pep Zor. And he was getting hype at this point. You see he takes a hand off the mouse. He's just fragging like crazy. Off to the window spawn as well. See him not start in connector with the op very often. He also doesn't jump out into connector with that op. That smoke comes because they molly top mid. So this is just confirmation for the CTs that someone is top mid. Also, that left side window position can be good to dodge flashes. Doesn't dodge all of them, but can dodge half. And there he is. Like, listen, they can't even get a round started because they can't even win a default. They can't even win a default right now. He just not be... Oh, God. Whoa. We're going back. I remember this kill is actually unbelievable. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, and look at this. Look at this. Look at this shot, okay? Look at the shot. Look. Are you looking? Look at this shot. Look at this shot. Look at this shot. Look. Wait. And... Pause champ. And... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Who is this guy? Who is this guy, really? How does he do it? Not even a primary. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see that one when we were just watching the game in the cast. Started with a rifle, turn into the op, started on connector, turn into window, denying mid. He's just owning, like, oh, he's just going crazy. He's going crazy with it. Oh, that's one spotted. That's a free kill for Refresh here, top of mid. So versatile. So crazy. Uh-oh. And you know what? There's a few moments where stavn misses a shot. I'm just thinking, like, okay, first, he still had like 32 kills in the... what's the math on that? 25 rounds overall. You know, how many more could he have had? I don't even know. It's disgusting to think about. I don't want to think about it too much. Once again, he's just getting so much value out of this position. He's just pasting it over and over. And once again, we're throwing this Molotov to, yeah, get that smoke out, get confirmation, then look what happens. Double knee to the top of middle, and that actually does a lot of damage. This is a really nice adjustment, too. The boost Cadian into the ladder room. And now they have an extra way to deal with middle. Now that they're not just giving stavn free kills, because he's just been going back there, because they are. They can let Cadian take over Cat. And now there's two ops that can both take shots. And stavn shooting is huge because they're going to be less distracted. And they might more distracted. They might run into Cadian. So they walk right under his scope. And now they're just getting hunted. I mean, they're trying to go aggressive, but Another rifle. Another rifle sticking out. What is happening? See, a couple shots being missed. Imagine. I don't even know what his score would have been. Pure filth. Okay, here, back to rifle, and guess what? Just flying right out middle. Top mid flash coming in as well. One top boxes, and now he's just hunting, okay? Mezzi's literally just sitting in this doorway saying, please, leave me alone. I'm scared. Stavn says, no, I'm going to hunt you down. I'm going to kill you. And then I'm going to go find your teammates as well. He said that. He literally just said that. He's also right about this flank. Alex actually gets all the way through. And Pepsor is going to come back. And Pepsor actually tries to clear him properly. Down just one bullet. Instant. Alex gets through spawn, but Stavn has the bomb on him right now. Okay, press 1 if Stavn dies to this peak right now. Poison is holding him. Press 1. If you press 0, you're correct. He dies. All right. It felt like he would never die, but even Stavn's bleed blood. Even Stavn's bleed blood. Just remember that. No matter how good you are at Counter-Strike, you can always get offed, alright? Doesn't matter. Anyone. Not seeing much. No pressure here to the top of mid. Just waiting this time. I mean, they've done so much. I mean, typically you don't want to just keep... Like, the more... You get so much value on the next rounds after you just put pressure on over and over again, you know, aggressively, that you're going to get diminishing returns from trying again because the team is going to get better. At least you'd hope they're going to get better at dealing with it. So sometimes pulling back all the way, that can actually have the opposite reaction to the other team, right? You can pull the other team forward so much. They're so frustrated with how many times they've died trying to do aggressive stuff, so then they'll start getting desperate and do plays like we just saw now. And Stavn in a totally passive spot is going to pull him forward. 3 more kills here as we round out the first half. And again, doesn't matter what gun he has, doesn't matter what position he's playing. This man can do no wrong. Okay, so again, slightly different nade set here. Instant Molotovs to the top of mid, and they don't even smoke. They just cross quickly. It's got to be a somewhat weak buy, though. Money can't be amazing here. So we just saw full rifles and been losing a lot of rounds. And Crims will finally take him down. 16-9. Should we watch the second half? Let's see. Let's see. Why don't we? Why don't we just see? Why don't we just take a look? Okay, supporting flashbangs for the rush. Pay attention to those angles. I don't think Stavn gets a kill here. Actually, yeah, CTs were fantastic here. This might not be worth. Okay, he's dying. Oh, okay, I think this is a lurk round. Maybe we can do a mini-map thing here. Okay, so Stavn's clearing underpass, and typically, if you're going to clear underpass, you want some support from top middle. In this situation, it's going to be a very slow lurk. So for Stavn, up until this point, he can throw his top con smoke and hit the molly that lands in front of it to clear out connector. And then the idea is that is just key for any default of map control, so that if you're going to take cat or you're going to take A through con, you let the other team know it could be either option, and they have to be worried about that. So these are the important default T grenades. In this position here, I believe... Actually, I believe they'll still lose, but Stavn does make a good play. So here he was going to lurk off cat, and so sometimes a good strat here, if the bomb is coming up, let's just say that this exec was successful. Okay, they've got like 3 guys A ramp, and then they're coming across the site. They're looking for the plant. The bomb will be planted in this position on the opposite side of triple, okay? And it can be planted on the back of triple, which is just a little bit scarier just because you can defuse from the other side of it. But the idea is that Stavn can jump out window and walk off to cat and then have this line right here where he can defend the plant. The other play that you see sometimes people make is the last second rotation all the way up onto cat, and then they fight the A site in the exact same way. Really good post plant opportunity, and you can be kind of suffocated back here with a few T's alive to get into good positions, because you might want to have one person Tetris max, one person Palace, one A ramp, and then you're almost out of spots. You know, the guy on default, the guy in front of triple. If you don't have CT control, the guy firebox. These spots are all going to get retaken by a decent CT team with enough utility. So eventually, if a ramp gets smoked or Palace gets smoked, you need something else going for you on the retake. So that's why you get this play, which is very hard to stop, especially if they don't think it's coming. If they're so busy and focused on other players, and your site players do a good enough job of staying alive. So then this play is good too. And the cool part about this play is you saw earlier in the default that when stavn went underpass in this play, he got his default grenades off. So he both was useful to the exec without letting the other team know exactly where he was, and would end up making a move that they wouldn't expect afterwards and could kind of jump out. And then the added bonus is that stavn in this spot doesn't even go off of cat because his team fails the exec, but instead has an open B site because they just showed bomb and threw tons of pressure towards A. So the sucky part about this is Poison makes a really good push through underpass to cut them off. And stavn, as we can see, would have been in a great spot to catch a rotator and let the bomb come over towards B. And this is just another value of lurkers. Okay, there's another value of lurkers and another value of defaults. That is, yeah, that's really important. That's really important. Okay, stavn gets into a very pesky position. Now, this is a spot you don't want to die to if you're on the CT side, but if they don't know anyone's here on default, sometimes you can see someone peeking off the side of default. You might see a shadow, and there's where Pepsor dies. And look at this. It just opens the floodgates. Everyone just starts running across the site. And stavn very careful about his movement. Deals with this threat so well. Actually, Refresh is going crazy with the Deagle, so he'll take out Alex. And they jump across CT spawn. And then check out this peek, dude. stavn goes up on default, goes up on the top of missiles on default to clear jungle, jumps over to firebox, and clears CT spawn with the op down there. Literally does everything he possibly can.
Bomb has been planted.
That one was really cool. Okay. stavn will spot him. They smoke CT. There's still one here, stairs. stavn's trying to watch for it, but he's very low. And now Cadian actually misses this second shot by like a hair. Or he hits it the second time. He was so close on the first one. But a very good retake, 2v3 situation there for the CT side. Okay, we could see just a delayed explode on mid with all the smokes down. No molly to the top boxes. Bomb will get dropped over. stavn will make his way kind of quickly up cat here. And he has a chance to try to take over ladder room, or even just turn the corner. His teammate in mid can flash for him here. So he'll actually do that. Totally clear out ladder. And it looks like he's just found a moment of respite. He'll chill. As his excellent team does the rest of the work for him. And now they're just kind of taking both sites at once, trying to find the fights wherever they are. Mezzi will answer back. Pepsor, I didn't even know he got a Zeus kill on this. I believe actually fnatic win this round with just USPs. Alex gets a 3k 1v3. Yes. They just slowly get dinked down. We're watching now what stavn is watching. And you think, how do they lose this? Well, guess what? Alex is here. Oh my god. You couldn't even see him on his screen. Alex didn't even have armor in that situation. Down to 33 health. Now you can see Fnatic can do whatever they want, so stavn's trying to be very careful about not getting opt, basically, while gathering some information on underpass and mid. And again, we'll watch for his team to kind of help him, because let's say there's a full mid setup from the CT side, and in this position actually they're okay because they have top boxes control. That's why top boxes is such a spot of interest that we saw being focused on from the CT side, because that guy top, if you have one top boxes, then you know there's a number of setups the CTs cannot partake in a mid, so it just grants you some safety to do what you want to do. So that's when you can go from underpass, take over mid control, or get set up in a number of ways. And actually stavn finds another gap here. So not only we see some aggressive, I mean, he's just so versatile, right? So much aggressive lurking coming out of, aggressive openings coming out of stavn in the first half, rifling, then opping, but now we also see lurking on the T side. Yeah, kid can basically do anything. It's actually sick. I think Mezzy... Oh, Mezzy doesn't live here. Okay. All right. That's okay. That's okay. Good one down in the exit. Now Heroic will try a contact explode up the ramp. Real easy. Love how this contact looked, especially after getting the first kill, getting all their mollies down, and then immediately scaling, and you're on a clock, right? Because basically all of your smokes are key, especially versus pistols, while they're still in the choke points. Once those come up, you don't want to be exposed to CT, you don't want to be exposed to cat, and cover everything while the bomb's getting planted and deagles are trying to wiggle their way in. And I think this is just going to be a real easy round. Look, it's down, even with the flash assists. I think I'll have to use this crosshair for a day or something after this performance. Nasty stuff. That's down. We had to watch the whole one. I wasn't even planning to do that. I didn't think that was going to happen. Let's take a look at the settings and stats really quick. 400 DPI, 2.6 cents. 1024, 768, 43. Black bars, we watched it on the stretch. He plays on black bars, just so you know. Okay, if you want to be this good, you got these black bars. Use your own discretion, but yeah, listen. Use black bars. That's clout. You'll get clout for using black bars, but I don't think that's a good reason to use it. All right, 1.99 rating on the map. Standing far above and away from basically everyone else here who tried to play catch up. 140 ADR. Plus 18, and this is a 16-9 game, dude. We're talking 25 rounds he does this. And then Simple basically matches him on the same map, which is also insane, versus OG. Like, almost literally the next game. Simple is in beast form as well, 2.2. This is almost even better. I mean, I don't know how... I hate to bring this up right after what we just saw, but like, oh my god, dude, he was 26-6 with a 2.22 rating. Okay, there's levels. You know what I mean? There's levels. We can watch that one too if you want. Okay, that's down. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.
Big dog shit, got my paws all dirty. Looking for a plate, that's why the dogs up early. With it white big, eat it like a McFlurry. I ain't got time to chill, I'm in a hurry. P the game, I got it for my daddy ho. Smoking dope, but saying raps.